Soul Garden. Live, love, breathe.
From my smartphone to yours, I'm Lovecasting live from the Serious Joy Garden Studios in Costa Mesa, California, and this is your Wednesday Namaste Today. Good day and namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is stepº 12. I am a life coach, psychic astrologer, and I coined myself the Sensei to Serious Joy. That's because my life purpose is to stand in my heart and help other people into theirs. This little webisode is for Wednesday, November 4th, 2015, and today the Great Human Walk has progressed to step 12, Scorpio. Now, if you're just joining us, welcome. Always a pleasure to see new faces, and thank you to everyone who's been sharing my show with others. That's the greatest thing you can do, and I'm so grateful for that, by the way. We're in step 0, which is Scorpio, which is the line between the lines. That's what Scorpio energy is. It is the energy that separates things, and we must separate so we can understand who we are. It's an important step. In fact, a lot of people have a big problem with separating things, and that's why things get so messy, right? Well, up until now, we've been working on getting into our own integrity. In fact, I teach 11 steps of serious joy. The first 11 steps of any sign are bringing it into integrity. So for the first 11 days of Scorpio, we're coming into our Scorpio or boundary integrity. Today is step 12, which is the first day that we step out of that comfort zone. In fact, today's topic really deals with one of the biggest things I have, or biggest problems I help my clients through, which is feeling past blind corners. How do you feel past a blind corner? Right? And that's basically what needs to happen in step 12. We're in integrity, we feel ourselves, and we want to kind of like reach out and we want to see if something might work. So today, in the next 24 hours, you might cross a bridge, you might try something new, you might be starting a new philosophy with yourself. And because it's Scorpio, because it's about boundaries in itself, I would guess it's probably a blind corner. So how does one do this? Well, I think the architecture of incarnation really explains it best. First of all, you need to understand that up until step 11, you have to really work on living in your own integrity and getting yourself to integrity. So step 10 is I love and I trust and protect. And really, 10 is the base. People aren't always putting out love in full integrity. Sometimes people are holding back to see what to put out. So I think the default is 10. I manifest as 10. Then each day we add, here in the teens, another state of awareness. So we're manifesting today emotion. That's what step 12 is. And that's what feeling around a blind corner is. You have to literally love and trust yourself and then feel if this feels okay. It's literally like putting your foot out there and going, is this okay? Is this solid? Am I going to fall through here? The step 12 is really common, I think, with little toddlers. I always like to watch toddlers because when they're like, holding onto the ledge of the couch and drinking their bottle, like everything is perfect. They're in total step 11. They're eating and shitting at the same time in their diaper, right? Like everything's perfect. Doesn't get better than that. And, the baby suddenly goes, oh, shiny object or furry dog, or the baby feels something over here, feels out in its environment, and because it loves and trusts everything, it can branch out and feel. So a lot of times people who need to feel past corners can't feel past corners because they're not in integrity, they're not loving themselves, they're not trusting themselves to begin with. The first 11 steps to serious joy are unattended to, so there's no way they're going to be able to feel out into their world. So this brings me to today's 5 o'clock question, designed to help you understand this whole feeling things out. The first one is, in a given day, what do you feel the most? Think to a given day, what feeling do you feel the most in a given day? Follow-up question, what do you do about that feeling each day? Do you do anything about it, or do you just deal with it? So I'll answer my own questions. What feeling do I feel most in the day? Well, I'll be honest. I end up feeling joy the most, but I actually, by itself, I feel frustration. Frustration comes in the most for me by itself. I'll look at my mind will see the list of things I have to do, I get frustrated. My mind will want this, I don't have it, I get frustrated. So frustration is probably the number one emotion that I have to transmute into serious joy, and it's not easy, and I don't always succeed at it. And, ask me before a shoot if I'm hungry, what my mood is. I'm like a Snickers commercial. Okay. What do I do about it? Well, I think everyone needs to have a response scenario to their feelings. And for me, I listen to music. I'm constantly babying myself. I connect to people I love. I look at pretty flowers. I have to stimulate myself. But the point is that I spend a lot of my day in a certain feeling, and I take the time to reverse it and get into the feeling that I want. Why? Because I have found that if you do not monitor that 10 and that base emotional feeling, whatever feeling you have, like in mine, I aim for serious joy, your base feeling might be contentment. I find that if you're not aware of what you feel every day, if you're not taking the time to bring it to a certain tone, then as a baby, you're not going to feel past a blind corner. You're going to feel scared because everything within you is not settled. So the first time you reach out of that frame, you will not have the courage. So today, take a minute to look at what do you feel during the given day? Do you maintain the 10? Do you turn your morale over? Is there a common base? Do you do anything for your feelings? And do you feel confident like a baby in a diaper to reach out and go towards the shiny object? And that's really where the premise of boundaries are. Now, the last thing I'll say is we're in Scorpio. So a lot of the lesson here is that you may need some sort of a boundary, more space, more time, more protection, more Scorpio to feel like the happy toddler. Maybe you need a new diaper, maybe you need this, maybe you need that. So energetically, the problem will probably be a boundary issue. Someone left the door open, you let something go too far, that sort of thing. So without further ado, let's take a look at the midweek energies and see what my guides have to say for you on this Wednesday. Okay, so the first thing that comes is the moon. And the moon is actually in a two-part day today. So today things will feel very excited and light in the first half of the day, but then by tonight you might feel kind of critical. That's because the moon's going to move into Virgo, and it's going to be pretty bumpy the next 3 days energetically. But today, the point is the moon in Leo really vibrates our heart, so our hearts are really lit up today. If you're upset, you're not in step 11 integrity, okay? That means your inner child is upset, something is wrong, go back to 1. I wouldn't make the child bridge out if you're not over troubled waters, to quote Simon & Garfunkel, if you're not really feeling the joy today. So be conscientious of that. But my guides are saying once the toddler runs for the shiny object and recognizes that's the moon hitting Virgo, may not be what the child wanted. Okay, so the second half of the day, boundary issues might be in protecting the child so that the child can, your inner child can reach out. But the second half of the day might be protecting the child because the child stuck its finger in a light socket, and that's not fun. Okay, so just putting that out there. They're putting out a little just reminder, especially today. People are going to have their minds blown sometime this week. Everyone will have their mind blown. That means you once believed one thing and now you believe something else. In the best case scenarios, you're going to believe in more magic, more spirit, more God, more fireworks, more great stuff. For people who are fear-based, they're going to think that the world is coming down even harder, that the conspiracy theories are even more true, and they're going to go darker. So at this point, I'm being advised to tell the public that you should be very clear about what side of the team you're on the side of the light walkers in the light or the side of the fear. I don't even think anyone in fear probably is watching this, really. Even if you have little fears, that's different. And that it's okay. That this is a time where human beings are going to have some very intense discussions about the way we should live into the future, and basically people's minds are going to be blown one way or another. So, as people who watch my show tend to be also light walkers and also leaders, be prepared that the people you watch over will probably have a little bit of a banana peel flip out between now and Sunday. But this banana peel flip out is like, oh my God, I didn't realize I was a socialist, or oh my gosh, I didn't realize this. And so it changes everything for them, and they need a lot of processing. I think that's also the reason why Star Wars is coming out over Christmas, is because we're ready for our next dose of Lucas spirituality. The last thing they're also pointing out is there's a lot of false prophets right now, and people have karma with false prophets, will follow false prophets. So if you see a friend or a person kind of following the wrong leader, unfortunately, they're going to have to learn that on their own, and you're going to have to let them. It's what we all learn. Remember, we must all know what we must learn and discover what we are not to understand who we really are. All right, I'm going to leave it at that for this little hump day. Hey, my friends, if you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. If you'd like to watch the show without commercials or leave a comment, come on down to soulgarden.tv. And if you'd like to be alerted to my little serious alerts, you can follow me on Twitter at stepº12. Do remember to live in your heart, my friends. Remember, you are a gift. You're a gift every day, and you're doing the human race a good thing by being here and putting out the light. So I want to say thank you for that, and I'll see you in 24 hours with more. Remember, I love you, and live, love, be.